Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So today I want to talk to you about something that's appropriate for February. It's about falling in love with your house all over again. Do you remember how excited you were when you first got the keys to your new home? You had a vision for what your new home would look like, what your new life would be like there, and you could hardly wait to put your own special touches on it to make it your very own. In your eyes, that home was absolutely perfect. But then, just like any thing else, after a while, that romance begins to fade, the honeymoon period is over, and you start to discover some of the little quirks or the imperfections that you hadn't seen before. Your home kind of begins to lose that little spark, and it might even start with just, it feels a little tired, a little outdated. It doesn't quite reflect you anymore. You've changed, but the house hasn't. But then you also realize that it's not practical or realistic for you to just, pick up and leave. What can you do when you've kind of lost that loving feeling for your house? So what better time than February to talk about this? What can you do to revive that romance so that you can fall in love with your house all over again? So here's just a few ways that you can do that. Number one, you could maybe look at your own attitude about the house. Face it. You thought the house was perfect when you bought it, but now that you've lived in it for a little while, you've noticed those little things like the leaky pipes or the noisy furnace or the creaky floorboards. You're kind of disappointed, not just in yourself for having made the decision, but you're disappointed in the house. So we can all get a little annoyed and even jaded about those imperfections, but by learning to accept and embrace them exactly as they are, while making a concerted effort to love the house as it is, will help to rekindle that love that you once had for it. So a second thing that you could do is to decide to keep it simple. So we can all get stressed out and overwhelmed when the house is filled with clutter. So it's natural that over a period of years you've collected more things. You've accumulated a lot more than when you moved in. And so your house doesn't quite look the same, doesn't feel the same, because it's so full of stuff. So when you decide to keep it simple or to simplify, it might just require a deep decluttering. So when you remove and let go of all those unnecessary things that, the clothes, the boxes, the paperwork, the books, all of those things that you no longer want, need, or use, you start to make room for that simpler life. You'll experience kind of a new excitement about the house again, a new energy, because the house now is more open and you can actually kind of see it again as you once did. And it'll remind you of what you fell in love with about the house in the first place. So in addition to changing your attitude and also to deciding to simplify or declutter, the third thing you could do would be to change your look. So we all desire, some change in our lives, especially, now that we've been confined to our homes due to COVID. We start to see things a lot differently, and they definitely don't look the same. So the bottom line is that, you've changed since you bought the house, you've changed since COVID, and it might no longer feel like you. It might not fit your lifestyle anymore, and it might not work for you the same way that it once did. So what you can do to change the look is to satisfy that desire for something new. That will give you a lift that you might need right now. So one is, these are more decorating techniques, but one is just a refresh. So that fresh coat of paint, either throughout or just in one room, to update it, to make it feel more like you, more of your signature, new color, new you. Maybe a new piece of furniture, that wonderful chair that you really look forward to, reading in, sitting in. It makes you feel like home. So these are a few ways that you can kind of revive that romance and that love of your home. Another thing you can do is rearrange furniture. So if you want immediate impact, rearranging furniture is certainly the easiest form of decorating, and it costs you nothing. But first, edit furniture that you don't love, that you don't want, you don't need. So the goal is to furnish that room with only the things that you love. So this technique costs nothing other than just a little bit of elbow grease, and yet it'll give you a complete new look and refresh your thoughts about, the home. So the third thing is to repurpose. So if you go on a scavenger hunt in your own home, look into, all the rooms and look at it differently. So you can repurpose, say, a favorite chair that's up in a guest room that's rarely used, bring it down to the family room. You can repurpose that wonderful lamp that you've always loved that's sitting also in a guest room that might be better used down in a family room or on your desk. And then there's that area rug that's been sitting upstairs that maybe will pull your family room together in a completely different look. So in addition to repurposing furniture and accessories, you can actually repurpose a room. So if you start to just ask yourself, what do I really need that the house is not doing for me right now? One of the things right now that people are asking for is a dedicated home office. So do you have a guest bedroom? Do you have a kid's room that is no longer being used that could be repurposed to become a dedicated home office, a hobby room, a yoga room, just a reading room? So not only repurposing furniture and accessories, but also repurposing the rooms themselves can give you a completely different outlook about the house, and also make you maybe fall in love with the house again because it's working for you now. So by changing your look, kind of like a new haircut, it can breathe new life into your home that might have started to feel stagnant. We all need these change these days, so simple, practical ways that cost you very little or no money at all. And the fourth way to fall in love with your house again is to invest in an upgrade, maybe a renovation. So if you truly feel that you have outgrown your home, or if your home is really not working for you anymore because your lifestyle has changed so much, before you sell, you might weigh the cost of investing in a really good renovation or an upgrade that could make all the difference in the world for you, that could also help you fall in love with that house all over again. So if it's a new kitchen, a new master bedroom suite, a new master bathroom, that could make the difference for you. Or maybe it's an addition that would give you the extra space that you've been wanting and needing for a long time. So then consider seeking professional assistance and guidance for, like an interior designer or like an architect, for design ideas on how you can improve or expand upon the space that will then suit your personal wants, needs, and wish lists. So if the house can be improved upon in such a way that it now works for you, chances are you're going to fall in love with it all over again. So remember, there's no perfect house, just like there's no perfect person. When we allow ourselves to see more clearly, to accept the imperfections, and change what we can and improve upon it, you might find yourself looking at your home with a completely new set of eyes, those loving eyes that you once had for it. So I hope that this has assisted you in maybe falling in love with your house all over again. If you are interested in learning more about interior design services, how a designer could help you, please visit my website, Rita Wilkins at ritawilkins.com, and schedule a 30-minute complimentary call. I'd be glad to go through the steps of, what a designer could assist you with and whether it's good for you or not. So I look forward to hearing from you, and please like and comment below. Thanks. Have a good day.